Good morning. We have discovered the internal wall damage that we need to repair. That's what's going to be going on today, is getting this taken care of. But this is supposed to be a laminated wall that everything is glued together. But as you can see, we've got movement all the way down here where it's delaminated, as they say. And so internally, the wall's supposed to look like that. What we've done is we've removed the lower section. We didn't see any evidence of a problem towards the top, so we only removed the first 2 feet at the bottom. And so, as you can see, we've got broken welds here, here, and there. And then this entire assembly can move like so. And none of this was glued anymore. And the attachment between, of course, we've been focusing on strengthening the frame and strengthening the attachment between the frame and this lower beam. This is 13 feet long, runs back all down the side of the front half of the trailer. So, but if I attach this firmly to the frame and I don't repair this wall, then the wall is still going to move. So I've come up with a plan for repairing that, and rather than just trying to weld this aluminum back, which is still going to be too weak for what you need, we actually have these structural frame connectors that I'm going to use along with adhesive. But these reinforcements are going to go in like this, and they'll be doubled up so that fully boxes it in. These are going to be glued and also riveted to the aluminum with structural rivets. And then another two will be back here. And that's the upright for the slide out opening, okay? And then those are all 90 degrees. I've made a custom one that will take care of this front angle here. And it will go in like so. And then I'm going to make another one that's a duplicate of this to go on the outside, much like we've done here. I made this one as a prototype, but this will rivet in, again, glue and rivet, and then it'll be doubled up like this one here. And then all of this will be firmly together, and then that gap will be glued all the way up and back here. Okay, and then to strengthen this connection, I'm actually going to put 2x4 lumber in the lower half of this so that we have really good strong glue surface to hold this together with wood rather than foam, which in a press at the factory provides a really good adhesion. Out in the field, that doesn't really do much for us. So I'm going to fill at least the first half of this with wood in here and in here, and then we'll put some insulation back up here, and then we'll put the wall board back on. All right, so that's the plan. But I've got to get this wall strengthened before our connection to the frame is going to do any good. But the other thing that we've done is we can review. I'm actually strengthening this beam by inserting an additional tube on the inside of it that will be bolted through and into here, which is going to increase the rigidity and the strength of this main beam. We added gussets here, and of course we've re-welded all of these here. We had cracks in a lot of places. That's been redone. This one has been completely redone. We added this gusset here. And then where I talked about that concavity on the back of this beam, we added a 3/16 inch plate across the back of it on both sides here. All right. And then back here, we re-welded all of these joints, but because we're dealing with an overweight issue, I wanted to have additional strength, so we added these gussets. They're flush with the trim, so they'll still be hidden by the skin, but we added one of those on both sides, which really strengthens this connection between the main upper deck beam and the upright box. But again, those will be hidden under the skin. We will have to trim the frame of this opening here, but there's two beams. The top beam of the aluminum will be cut to clearance for this, but the bottom beam that opens the door, that provides the door frame, that'll remain solid. So that's the bulk of what we're doing here. And this frame has really strengthened up. We're getting a lot less movement in the frame, but again, because of the wall, we're still getting a lot of movement between the frame and the wall. But once we repair the wall, we should be good. Now, we didn't see the same problem with the wall movement and delamination over here. You can see this is all still glued. Well, that's a little bit off. Let's make sure to put a little extra glue in there. But all the way up here, it looks good. These welds aren't broken. So we decided not to take that wall apart. But that wall over here was in rough shape. And again, it doesn't have the same strength because it's got that big opening for the slide out.